Okay. Okay, now it should be working. So if you can write me to the chat, now it should be working. Excellent. So my name is Peter Zawadzki, and today I will be speaking about Slovak medical universities, but with online admission, because there are 4 faculties in Slovakia for medicine, but and 3 of them will be doing the online admission, which can be very interesting for the Indian students, especially because they do not need to travel anywhere, especially in this. Oh, thank you very much. Especially in this time, so I think it's very useful to provide this option to Indian or other Asian students if they wish to join some medical university in Slovakia. So just to give you a brief overview, there are 4 faculties of medicine. It's Faculty of Medicine in Košice, UPGS, Faculty of Medicine in Bratislava, which is part of Comenius University. I'm sure that you heard about this faculty and university already. Comenius University is having 2 faculties. Second is in Martin, that's Jesenius Faculty. This is Jesenius Faculty of Medicine. And finally, it's like Medical University, which is not very well known. They only have 40 admissions for the general medicine every year, but can be also option to be provided to students. Let's start with the Faculty of Medicine of Comenius University. 3 biggest advantages is that the degree is recognized in European Union. Basically, with this degree, you can work anywhere in Europe, as well as after passing the needed exams, you can also work in US or in Canada, most of the world. For the general medicine, it's the second cheapest faculty of medicine. That's 9,500 euros for 2 semesters, so for 1 academic year. And dental medicine, it's 11,000 euros. Unlike other universities in Europe, for example, in Hungary, they also charge some special extra charges for the dental materials and so on. This is not in case of the Slovak medical universities. All the prices which you can see here, that's the final price, and there is no extra any other fees for the students. So the Faculty of Medicine in Bratislava, it's having 2 programs. Both have 6 years. And for the general medicine, this year they will accept around 200 students. And for the dental medicine, they will accept 35 students. Because of the special corona crisis, the faculty decided to do the online admission. There will be 2 dates. For the general medicine, it's 11th of August. For dental medicine, it's 12th of August. Online means that every student needs to have a camera. Either it will be directly in laptop, or it will be some extra camera. So all the admissions, all the tests will be recorded, so they can see if someone is cheating or no, also later on. So it's important to take this into consideration for the students, so their admission is not cancelled. Real important note for Faculty of Medicine Bratislava is that they put big pressure on the recognition, which means that they want all the recognition to be done before the admission itself. This recognition of the secondary school, it's called nostrification, and it cannot be done after the exam, only before the exam. So it can be done latest by the exam itself. For this, there are quite many documents needed, but the most important documents are 10th certificate and 12th certificates. These documents are then submitted to the Ministry of Education in Bratislava, and the recognition can take 3 to 4 weeks. So like student cannot apply last minute, he will need to apply very, like, if possible, in June or beginning of July. Regarding the test, there are 100 questions from biology and 100 questions from chemistry. All these questions are from the data bank, which is provided by the university. Each data bank is having 750 questions from biology and 750 from chemistry, and students, they have 3 hours for test to be completed. I will be not speaking that much about the documents for registration. Just here you can briefly see what is needed. So application form, application fee is 80 euros, copy of passport, copy sworn translation, birth certificate, apostille not needed, 10, 12 certificate, hepatitis B vaccination, and passport size photos. Usually this is taking quite some time, apostilles and translations and so on. So it's necessary to start soon. And now I will try to share you some few pictures. I hope that I will do it right. And so I will just share you a few pictures from this Comenius University, so you have idea how does it look like. This is video about the Comenius University, but it will start with the Faculty of Medicine. So this was about the Faculty of Medicine in Bratislava. Let's now speak about the Jesenius Faculty of Medicine. This faculty is very interesting because it's not big faculty, and they have less students than other faculties of medicine, but according to the rankings, it's the best faculty, and also is very student friendly and also very friendly when you toward the applicants, because other faculties usually they expect hard copies and they expect originals and so on. They simply send the application form, copy of passport, even application fee is not needed, and that's it. This is very special. I think one of few faculties of medicine which are doing application process so easy. And for they offer one program of medicine, general medicine. It's 10,900 euros. Under the ECTC credit system, so there is recognition guaranteed for the students. This year there will be 150 students accepted. Usually there are not that many students accepted applying, applying to this faculty. So last year, even students who scored 60% in the admission test or even 50%, they got admitted, and there were less students accepted last year. So this year, the chances of admission are really great. And there will be online test on 15th of August. The application form should be filled in on 17th of July. The results students will get in 7 days. Again, it will be online test, so the students, they do not need to go anywhere. They just need to have camera with 360-degree rotation, and also the recording will be saved, and so no one can accuse anyone from the cheating. No application fee. No application fee is needed, as I told already. Only copy of passport and application form. So it's very easy. All these questions, if you will be having regarding the paperwork and so on, definitely you should speak to the ESC if you are not directly ESC, of course. Jesenus faculty, there will be 80 questions. There will be 80 questions from totally in the online test. 40 questions will be from the chemistry and 40 from biology. I would say maybe 60, maybe even 50% of points will be needed for admission. One question equals to 1 point. Again, I need to tell again that it's really easy to apply for this faculty. The faculty is really excellent. They have very interesting mix of the students. They have students from Northern Europe, mostly from Norway. Then they have many students from Iceland and also from Seychelles, Poland, Germany, Spain. Very international environments. Really recommend this faculty. And now I will share you again some video. I will share you video about faculty of about this faculty. Let's look more interesting.
Welcome to Martin, in the center of the Turets region, where past and present meet in a dynamic cultural, social and sporting life. The Jesenius Faculty of Medicine, Comenius University, is a leader in medical education in Slovakia and plays an important part in the life of the city. Its humanistic mission has been spread throughout the world by hundreds of graduates ever since the faculty was established. Our aim is to create not only good conditions for university studies, but also conditions for lifelong learning in a comfortable learning environment with Martin University Hospital. The main activities of our faculty focus on the provision of educational, scientific research and curative and preventive activities. The education and training of our graduates is based on the deep traditions of European medicine, which has gradually developed into contemporary evidence-based medicine. Every year, there is great interest in studying at our faculty, which is proved by the growing number of domestic and international applicants. We are pleased that we can admit excellent secondary school graduates who fulfill the admission criteria by more than 80%. At present, in addition to Slovak students, there are students from Norway, Iceland, Sweden, Germany, Poland, and many other countries. Within graduate studies, the faculty provides the study program of general medicine in Slovak and English language, dental medicine, and non-medical study programs in nursing, midwifery, and public health. After admission to the faculty, students of general medicine gradually acquire knowledge of theoretical disciplines focused on an understanding of the structure and function of each organ system in a healthy human body. Acquired knowledge from anatomy, histology, biophysics, biochemistry, biology, or physiology is a fundamental
So this video is having 10 minutes, so you can find it in YouTube. It's having a lot of interesting and useful information. So you can also share it with the students, or you can check it. You will simply type in Google Jesenius Faculty of Medicine, Comenius University, and it will show on the top. So again, I recommend this faculty because they have the admission in August, and still there is a lot of time for the registration for the medicine, and only 2 documents are needed for the registration. So it's passport and application form. Even application fee is not needed. Finally, I will be speaking about Swat Medical University. Not many people know about this university in the sense that it provides also the medical program in English, general medicine. They accept only 36 students for the medical program in English. And they also, like, the tuition fee is 9,000 euros, so it's the cheapest faculty of medicine. It takes 6 years, and after graduation you get the Doctor of Medicine degree. If you want to pass the entrance test, it will be online, and there will be 80 questions from biology and 80 questions from chemistry. Totally, there is 150 minutes to be completed. Every question has 4 points maximum, and you can score 640 points. So top 36 students will get accepted. Usually the success rate is around 40 to 50%. Online admission will be on the 2nd and 3rd of July. Maybe there will be some another rounds taking place later on. Now it's too soon to tell this, but this is also possibility for the online admission in Slovakia if someone wishes to study. Here is some brief overview of the application documents. Quite many documents again are needed. Nostrification can be done later on. It doesn't need to be done before the entrance exam. But as you can see, the list is quite big, and you maybe most of students will be maybe dismotivated by this, and they will decide to apply for some different faculty in Slovakia, maybe Martin or the Bratislava University. Now this is the end of this session. I wanted to keep it brief to give you this idea. What are the options if someone wishes to do the online test? So once again, if someone wishes to do online test, online admission for the Faculty of Medicine Slovakia, these 3 faculties are possible. So it's Faculty of Medicine Comenius, Jesenius Faculty, and Swat Medical University. These 3 faculties offer online admission, and then students can proceed with the visas and so on. All the questions related you can direct to ESC, and they will definitely tell you more details about it. Sometimes the questions are, what is the if some special marks are needed from the higher secondary? No, it's not needed. Only requirement is to pass the secondary and higher secondary school, and then to pass the entrance test. So nothing else is needed. Regarding the NEET exam in India, this also I would suggest to contact ESC, but to start studying in Slovakia, it's not needed to have this NEET exam before leaving to Slovakia. Also, some people were asking last time about the practical studies. Students are usually going to the university hospitals, which are next to faculties itself. They're in touch with the patients usually from second and third year, and it's very practically oriented. All the students, they form in every faculty, they form small groups, and with the teacher they go and visit the patients. The teachers are explaining what they can see, what are the problems in the cure, and so on and so on. Like, definitely medical studies are not easy, but for the last years there was big problem for the Indian students to apply for the Slovak faculties. But thanks to this online admission, it's very easy to and then to proceed with the next steps. Now let's go for your questions in chat. I don't know if we will be having some special time limit today, but definitely please ask me your question, and I will be very happy. Is Slovak Medical University listed in MCI? This again, I would suggest to contact ESC. So I don't want to misguide you. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about this. I know it from the Slovak end, but this I would really suggest to speak to ESC. Is NEET exam score required to apply? No, it's not needed. Only documents, 10th and 12th certificates and birth certificate. These three documents from the home country of in the home country of student are needed. Nothing else. So NEET exam to apply for Slovakia is not needed. Also, to finish school is not needed. I think it's mostly needed if the student wants to work after graduation in India. But again, I would suggest to contact the SC. What is the ratio of Indian students there in both universities? This is a very good question, and I would maybe divert. Maybe I would give an indirect answer. You have direct, like you have native Indian students, which means students who came to Slovakia from India and they study here. I would say there are not many students like this. Not many, because I know that in Europe other universities are more popular. Maybe it's easier to get admission. Other universities, some universities in Europe don't have any written tests or any admission tests. They just accept the students based on the documents they submit. But if you also consider the students who are, for example, their parents relocated to, I don't know, UK, Sweden, Norway, and this is like second generation of Indians. So it's like their parents are Indians, but they're relocated to Europe. In this case, we can tell that there are definitely more students like this. But native Indians, there are not many. I wouldn't say, I don't know, in Košice it could be like 10 students, I would say. Like last year we had also one here in Košice. He's very happy to study here. But like I do not have that much knowledge about more native Indian students. Okay, so question from Mr. Hirdesh, 10,900 is tuition fees for all 6 years. No, it's tuition fee for 1 year. So total you have 6 years, and every year you need to pay 10,900 euros. Like definitely it's not cheap. And but for example, only the costs from the side of the faculty are thousands of euros. I think it's 6,000 to 7,000 euros. I'm not sure, but like definitely teachers, laboratories, everything is very expensive. But if you will see some videos on YouTube, you will see that laboratories are excellent equipped, and also you can check some testimonials of the students. You will be really surprised. Okay, what is the percentage of scholarships provided to the international students? There are some scholarships even offered by the faculty. It's for the excellent marks and for the representation of the faculty. It's important to say that this will not cover the students' tuition fees. This will maybe cover some monthly fees like dormitory fees or the living costs for 1 month maybe or 2 months. Then there is one organization which is called SAIA. And this SAIA is providing also the it's like governmental organization, and this organization is providing the scholarships for the students, and then they fund the students. But I'm not aware that some student was funded to study medicine in Slovakia. So definitely like technical field some, but I'm not quite aware about the medical school funding. Is there any minimum percentage required in 12 certificate? Is it based on entrance result? Again, very good question. Only entrance exam and successful passing of the exam of the 12th standard is needed. Nothing else is needed. No one will take a look on your results in the secondary or higher secondary. What matters is just passing Indian school and then passing the entrance exam. That's all, problem solved. What if the student want to practice medicine in Slovakia or in other country after the study? What they have to do? Very good question, because this is definitely related to some cost and benefits calculation. If someone wants to practice in Slovakia, basically once you get the degree, you can immediately work in hospital. But for example, if you want to be specialized doctor, for that you need so-called attestation. If you will work in any country in Europe, you do not need special exam if you have degree in hand from Slovakia. What you need to have excellent command of that language. That's why so many people, they go to UK or to Canada or to US, because English was the language in their school, in their university, so they do not need to learn any other language. But really, I would really say that it's important to speak at least some basic level of the local language. And definitely, if you want to work in, for example, in Slovakia or Czech Republic or anywhere else, you will also need to speak excellently the local language. There are also some people who did this and now they're working as doctors in Slovakia. Is there any post-study options in English or work options for students from India? Okay, so firstly, generally speaking, after the students or graduates will finish their university, they can get 6 months stay back for looking for a job. You will get it very easily. There is no problem with this, and you can look for a job anywhere in any other European country as well, because you do not need to go back to New Delhi. Simply will go to embassy in Bratislava, which is capital of Slovakia, and you can ask for the work permit or residence permit directly at the embassy, for example, of Germany and so on. So if like borders in Europe are open, okay, maybe with some exceptions because of this crisis, but there is big lack of doctors, so everyone is trying to attract the doctors in in Europe. Entrance exam will be held online, yes, for these 3 faculties, which you can see here. So for the Faculty of Medicine Bratislava, Jesenius Faculty of Medicine, and Faculty of Medicine Swat Medical University, these 3 faculties are offering the online admission. Students, they do not need to travel. Maybe if they can get some better internet connection, because I heard there could be some connectivity problems, but they do not need to travel anywhere. How easy is it for students to go to UK or Canada after completing the medicine? Very good question from Mrs. or Miss Anusha. So there are many students from UK. When I was speaking about the 2nd generation of the students from India, of the people from India, so many of them, they now study like in Central Europe. After they pass, even the native UK people, once they pass, they need to go back to UK, and they need to pass the language test, which is quite funny because they're native speakers, but this is basically only requirement. I know that in US you need to pass that USMLE. About Canada, I'm not sure, but I do not think it's that big problem. But definitely, yes, he's having some expertise on this. Okay, let's go to next question. From which year the students will visit the clinics and meet the patients during the study? Usually they're in like very direct touch from the 3rd year, but some practical lessons are done also in the 2nd. But in 3rd, they already have good knowledge, and like from anatomy, histology, chemistry. So they go to the hospitals, university hospitals, with the local doctor, and are in touch with the patients, and also they have opportunity to go for the summer camps, summer internships. This is organized by IFMSA. It's International Federation for the Medical Students, and they can work even during the studies as like volunteer doctor somewhere, I don't know, Asia, Africa, South America. So many options to be. If you are active, definitely medicine will help you with this. In Comenius University and Slovak Medical University, is it listed in Medical Council of India? Very good question, but this I would suggest to contact ESC. Sorry, I didn't do research on this. Do we need IELTS for seeking admission in these universities? No, you do not need. Basically, university is not checking your English or students' English proficiency. They only check if you pass the exam. If you pass the secondary school, that's all. Then you get admission, or the students get admission. So no language certificate is needed. Nice question. What's the degree the students pass with? Is it graduation or PG? Okay, so this is question from Mr. Rajesh. So what's the degree the students pass with? Okay, so I will try to write it here. So if you will finish the doctor of medicine, it's written like this. So this is the name of your degree once you become doctor. So it means it's like Slovak degree, but it's recognized anywhere in Europe. It's means doctor of medicine, and if you pass the dentistry school, dentistry program, then you will become MDDR. So it's doctor of dentistry. Once you have this, you can work in hospital, and you can start your career. Any postgraduate degree for doctors from India? This, I'm not sure if I understand correctly. Any postgraduate degree for doctors from India? Okay, maybe I will not answer your question. Maybe I will not answer the question in a sense which you asked it for, but if, for example, there is some doctor who wants to come to Slovakia to study for PhD, that's possible, but for that usually you need to pay unless the university will fund you. But if someone with degree from India wants to work as doctor in Slovakia or anywhere in Europe, he or she will need to pass comparison tests, and only once passing it, they can work. The problem is that you need to speak the local language perfectly. So, for example, you will have a test in anatomy, and you need to pass it in Slovak. So, but I think this question was for the PhD studies. PJ's programs, like postgraduate, I suppose, programs in medicine for Indians MBBS students. Okay, so also I would be quite happy if maybe I would get clarity. Okay, so I think this question is meant in the sense that someone completed MBBS for 4 years in India and then wants to come for the postgraduate. Like I know, for example, in Poland, there are these 4 years speed programs, and once you complete it, you get Doctor of Medicine in Poland. But then, like in Slovakia, there is either you study this 6 years program, or and then you go for the PhD. But there is nothing in between. There is no special program for someone who is already having MBBS. Like what is possible is to apply for the recognition of courses from India, and then, for example, to start from 2nd, 3rd, or 4th year. For example, in Košice, they accept students for the transfer students. They accept even for the 5th year. But if someone is having already MBBS, there is no like any other special program for this. Who did? Okay, so let me connect. So any postgraduate degree from doctors from India who did Bachelors of Medicine. Okay, so I think now I answered this this question. There in Slovakia, there is no distinction between the bachelors and masters. There is just one single program which takes 6 years, and you cannot say like first 3 years are bachelors and then it's masters. Like that's only 1 6 years doctor program, and once you will finish, then you will get the doctor degree of medicine. Is there any option to apply for the permanent residency after completing the medicine? This is interesting question. Okay, maybe now my internet is having some troubles. No, okay, it's okay. So yes, it's possible. You will finish in 6 years. So then you will need to have at least 2 years. Then you need to have at least 2 years of the some job in Slovakia, and then you can apply for the permanent residency. So a question from Mr. Rajesh. These degrees which I've wrote, are those graduate or postgraduate? This is graduate degrees. Okay, I will try even to find. So what is the meaning of this? Okay, so the MUDR means Medicina Universal Doctor. So it means like doctor of the general medicine, and MDDR is basically same as MDD, so that's medicine dentium doctor, so doctor of dental medicine. So these are the These are the graduate programs, and they take 6 years. It's actually a very good question. I didn't realize that there is this big difference between the India and Slovakia. Okay, so maybe we will have last one question, and then definitely you can connect with DSE, and they will answer all of your questions. I think it was very nice webinar today. As I said, admission is still open. You can still offer this option to study for your students, for the applicants. They can application is still open. For the SNUS faculty, the admission is the easiest and admission process, and for the Bratislava there are some problems, of course. Okay, so some more question. So stay options, accommodation facilities in university. Accommodation is provided by the dormitories. Dormitory fees are not included in the tuition fees. Usually it's 100 to 150 euros. In private accommodation, I would say 150 to 200 euros. Monthly costs to stay in Slovakia as medical students, I would say it will be 300 to 400 per month, but depends on your accommodation. Accommodation standard and cost, so 300 to 400 euros. And stay option, so as I said, once you will graduate, once the student will graduate, he will get 9 months for the job seeking visas. It's also very easy to get, so then he can stay in Europe and look for the job either in Slovakia or anywhere else. And after that, like, he's free to look for the jobs in anywhere in Europe. He can apply for the various medical positions. He can work as doctor based on if he's speaking Slovak, he can work in Slovakia. So this local language proficiency is always needed if the person wishes to stay in Slovakia. Will there be any other entrance exam after, say, 2-3 years? Okay, so this year this will be online test. Next year it's hard to say. Maybe it will be again standard on-site. So applicants will need to come to Slovakia, or some trip will be organized. Last year we did the entrance exam, but for this faculty we did in India, in Kochi. That was, let's say, quite moderate success. And so that's also possible that students, they don't need to come to Slovakia, but the university can come to India. But it's hard to predict whether next year admission will be online. My estimation is most probably no. After completing medicine in Slovakia, if student looks for jobs in some other country in Europe, the student has to pass the country language test. Yes, either you will pass the language test or you will show some certificates. For example, you can show, if you are from Germany, you will, if you want to work in Germany, you will need to show some, let's say, B2 level from Goethe Institutes. The same will be for Swiss. So either you will pass the exam there, or you can do the examination during your studies. That's also possible. Like, salaries in Germany are very nice. Is it allowed to do part-time jobs while pursuing medical degree? Yes, it's possible. 20 hours 20 hours a week, and it's even possible to run a business which is which some students even did. But like part-time job and studies, okay, but like studies and business, that's usually quite difficult. So part-time jobs, 20 hours a week, 80 hours a month, or you can, for example, work, the students can work full-time during the summer holidays and then study during the rest of the year like this. But like I don't know many students who do. Okay, some I know, but it's really hard to do it together with the medical studies. Can you please tell about the accommodation? Okay, accommodation is in dormitories provided by universities. Like in Bratislava, they do not, like the Faculty of Medicine is not providing for the medical students, so they need from abroad, so they need to find it by themselves. Usually students, they go for the sharing. Usually they go for the sharing of the accommodation with other students. That will cost maybe 200 to 250 euros a month in Bratislava. And in SNS faculty, they can get dormitory contract for maybe 100 euros a month. Will the students get medical degree only once they pass test in Slovak language? No, it's not needed to pass like some special Slovak language. Like there are some 3 semesters of the Swat language in the first 2 years, but that's basically just for the very simple communication with the patients, some A1, A2 level maximum. So this is not the problem at all for people to study. But it's not like proficiency level. It's like someone is going abroad and he wants to he just wants to speak very basic phrases, maybe to go to shop and buy something, ask for direction. Very simple level, no big deal about this language course. So no proficiency in Slovak is needed. A spouse can travel and stay with him or her during studies. Yes, I can imagine this. Yes, this is possible. Some students try this already. What is the most important, basically, is to show good funding, in a sense that that's the wife or husband will be dependent, in dependent position. So then it needs to be showed that yes, I'm having enough money to sponsor my husband during his stay in Slovakia. So, but this is like separate process. You cannot apply directly. Firstly, the students needs to get residence permit only. Then the spouse can. It's called so-called family reunion residence permit, and it's needed to go to New Delhi to embassy. Okay, and I think that there will be one last question, and then after this question, I will thank you for Mhm. Okay, so I don't know if you can hear me, like my internet was interrupted. So thank you very much. Thank you very much for coming today. It was very nice to be in some interaction with you after a long. I hope that situation in India will get better in next weeks, and you will be having a lot of students coming to either Slovakia or other countries in Europe. If some help will be needed, definitely ESE is there. Definitely, they will. If something they don't know, I will be happy also to assist and stay safe as well. And let's hope for this for a good intake this year, and definitely even better intake next year. So have a nice day, and we hope that we will see each other in some other webinar or meeting. Bye bye.